Good morning or good day to you. My name is Gliselle and welcome to Making Memories 8. I am a mother of 6 kids, family of 8. We are a large family and nonetheless cooking is always some interesting journeys for us since we have a lot of children with different tastes and dislikes and likes. So it's always trying to please the crowd. That's always a challenge. So if you love large families or grocery hauls, shopping videos, spend the day with us, we may be your family. So please think about subscribing. We hope that you would enjoy our content, but nonetheless, let's start off with why you are here. I wanted to start something a little different. I've been really interested on trying this, especially since this is the day after Thanksgiving. And what do we have? Most of us have a lot of turkey leftovers or just Thanksgiving leftovers, and trying to figure out how to really utilize those, stretch those meals out to something more tangible and budget friendly for all of us. And I tend to, swayed on the side of caution with recipes. I prefer recipes that have minimal items or, requirements for it, because we generally like easy peasy, lemon squeezy recipes that are really budget friendly. So I hope you will enjoy and think about subscribing. This is a recipe book I actually picked up from a thrift store. It caught my eye when you're looking at just the cover of it all. And it says here soups, stews, and casseroles, and that's what a lot of families do. They do, casseroles, stews, dishes that really serve a large crowd. So we are going to be trying the recipes in this book. This is actually a food writer's favorites, and let me show you what it looks like inside. So here it is. This is the soup, stews, and casseroles. I got this at the Salvation Army. I'll show you the side here. Food writer's favorites. This really caught my eye. Dial Publishing Company. Does it have anything on the back? So, food writers' favorites. Americans' cooking heritage is rich with recipes for soups, stews, and casseroles. Many have authentic ties to other countries, but others are uniquely American. This book is a collection of taste-tempting recipes from the personal files of food writers across the country. Many of the recipes are regional specialties, and some have passed down through families for several generations. Most are quick and easy to prepare and rely commonly on available ingredients. All are sure to please your palate and provide you with new menu ideas, which that sounds very intriguing to me. So let's open it up. So as you see here, it goes over, I'm not going to really read this itself. This is just information about the Mothers Against Drunk Driving. So the special edition is being offered to benefit. So this was, I guess, to benefit the Mothers Against Drunk Driving and help you better understand its works. Before enjoying many recipes that follow, please take a few minutes to read over the material. It explains their history and services that they perform. So definitely a lot of good information here. Okay, so I'm not going to go over that because that's really more about Mothers Against Drunk Driving. And here is the first page. Soups, stews, and casseroles. Okay, so the introduction. So what's for dinner tonight? It's an age-old question, whether you want a quick meal or an international adventure. Soups, stews, and casseroles can provide the answer. Soups, stews, and casseroles are appropriate for many occasions. Most soups, stews, and casseroles... Soups, stews, and casseroles are appropriate for many occasions. Most can be prepared quickly. Many are nutritious because the cook regulates the kind and amount of ingredients used, and all are simply good eating. You can count on the recipes of this book to be in this book to be good because they are the special favorites of food writers across the country. The book combines not only the tried and true personal recipes of food writers, but also many regional specialties. So for the purpose of this book, casseroles will be very closely defined as one-pot dishes, which is awesome. The line between soups and stews were somewhat blurred too. Regardless of category, the recipes are sure to please. In tune with today's lifestyles, the writers contributed more vegetable, poultry, and seafood recipes than any other categories. You will, however, find that today's cooks rely on many convenience foods, and they are quick to use any ingredient that simplifies a recipe. So each of the recipes in the book includes a brief introduction that tells you something about the recipe. So even if you aren't in the mood for cooking, the book makes the enjoyable reading. We would like to make it clear that the recipes are the contributors' favorites. The publisher makes no claim that the recipes are original. One possible credit has been given where credit is due, but in many cases the recipes are just evolved or have been handed down through families, and it is difficult, if not impossible, to say from where they came. So the next thing that talks about is the freezing tips. So one reason why food writers enjoy making soups, stews, and casseroles is because such dishes usually freeze well. So the effort involved in making a single recipe can yield 2 or more meals. When freezing soups, stews, and casseroles, keep these tips in mind. Follow the recipe, but if possible, undercook the vegetables. Cook cool cooked dishes through before freezing. Leave ample headspace to allow for the expansion of the liquid during freezing, generally about 1/2 inch from 1 point containers and 1 inch for 1 quart containers. Cubicle containers allow for the most efficient use of the freezer space. Okay. Right here, label and date the packages. It is best to use frozen foods with 1 month for optimal flavor and texture. Do not freeze too much food at one time because overloading the freezer raises the temperature to the detriment of already stored frozen foods. Always thaw frozen foods in their original containers, as it's best that they thaw them in the refrigerator. Use all frozen items immediately after thawing because growth of bacteria can occur rapidly in thaw foods, especially casseroles. Most casseroles can be reheated in the oven state. A general rule of thumb is bake the casserole in a 350-degree oven until the mixture is hot throughout. Sometimes it's convenient to line baking dishes with foil, then fill them and freeze. When the foil wrapped food is frozen solid, remove it from the dish, seal tightly, and remove immediately to the freezer. This allows you to use the baking dish until you're ready to reheat the foods. When ready, remove the foil, return the foods to the baking dish, and heat in the oven. If you plan to freeze a recipe from this or any cookbook, watch the seasons carefully. So onion, pepper, celery, garlic, and synthetic flavors tend to be stronger or bitter. Like salt and herb flavoring decreases in strength, and curry acquires a musty flavor. Okay, so to serve frozen soups, bring them to a boil in a saucepan. Unless they are thick, they have a cream base, in which case a double boiler is necessary. For cold soups, thaw until liquid is served chilled. Whether you freeze these dishes or serve them immediately. Contributing writers hope you will enjoy the recipe collection. Happy cooking. So here are some of the food. These are the food editors, if you want to look at that. So we are starting, so it may say this is poultry, and some may say like self-crusted chicken pie, but you could always replace the meat with like turkey or something. So, and it'll say in the recipe. So let's just take a look at the self-crust chicken pie. That's the first one that we're looking at here. So what I like about this is you see how it just covers one page. Just a small glimpse of this has a little synopsis about like where the food editor acquired this dish. And so this is a self-crust chicken pie. This will be the first recipe I'm going to try. 2 cups of chopped cooked chicken or turkey, which is perfect because I have leftover turkey from yesterday. 2 hard cooked eggs, peeled and sliced. 1 1/4 cups of chicken or turkey broth. 1 can of cream condensed celery soup, which I have, undiluted. And 1/4 cup of butter or margarine softened. 1 cup of self-rising flour. 1 cup of milk. And 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. I just have to check if I have this self-rising flour, which I think I do. Let me see what the note says. It says here, to make your own self-rising flour, add 1½ teaspoons of baking powder and just a half a teaspoon of salt to 1 cup of all-purpose flour. Awesome. So I like that tip, how it does that there. So this is what I'm going to be trying. The self-crusted chicken pie with my leftovers. And then, which is interesting, I've never had this. I want to read this part right here to you. So the food editor is Atlanta Journal-Constitution, Atlanta, Georgia. No truly Southern recipe file could be complete without a good recipe for chicken pie. That's the sort of comfort food we Southerners grew up and want to pass on to generations. This version is a bit simpler than grandmother made, but it fits into the modern lifestyle. The crust is a drop crust, requires no rolling. Awesome. Vegetables such as onions. Such as onions and celery can be added if desired. So I really like that. This is optional if you want to add vegetables. I have some leftover green beans, which we will be using. I will probably be also cutting up some carrots, and I think I have some celery left over, and maybe I'll throw in some potatoes, we'll see. But that looks really yummy. And the next recipe, well, we will get to that later, but this is one I'm going to be focusing on. So I just wanted to share with you the soup, stews, and casseroles. If y'all are interested, food writers' favorites, please think about subscribing. I will try to make it because it has a lot of dishes that I think all of us can enjoy, and I think it's also so awesome to look at where these food editors actually acquired some of these recipes from. So I'm interested to see what it all entails, and they look very simple and easy. So enjoy, join me on this journey with soup, stews, and casseroles. My hope is that every Friday I can get, or every Saturday I can get to one of these recipes and see and give you my opinion on if it's worthy. But I'm sure they are, but we will certainly try them out for ourselves. Stay tuned.